Okay, in this activity, we're going to distinguish or to know the characteristics of TCP and UDP delivery method. It's a drag and drop activity, so we're going to drag here, there, or here, and check the answer if it's correct. Now, let's start. First is less overhead. TCP has a 16-bit header, which is much bigger than UDP. Because UDP has only 8 bit of header. Size be less overhead. Then connectionless. On TCP, it should have a good established connection between the sender and receiver to successfully deliver the messages. While in UDP, it's a fast transmission, and it also didn't have a con- connection to the receiver. Example, the sender doesn't have a connection to the receiver. That's how UDP works. So it is connectionless. Next is fast transmission requirements. UDP is much faster on delivery. Its process much faster than TCP. So it's fast transmission requirement. Sequence message segments. Sequence message segments is for TCP. Why? Because the message on TCP is is on sequence. Uh, on ha Example, I send a message. I send a message to someone, and he received it. The message is uh he or she received my message on sequence. Example, I send two messages, and he or she or my sender will receive it on sequence. Yung tamang pagkasunod-sunod. Then, no acknowledgement of receipt. It is for UDP. It's because TCP, if the sender sends a message to the receiver will send acknowledgement message that the receiver was already received the message. While UDP, if the sender sent a message to receiver, the receiver will simply accept it and nothing in return. Next is no order delivery. No order delivery is UDP. Is for UDP. Why? It's because UDP you send message through a delivery method UDP. Um, the message can be interchanged. Like if I send my first message and if I send 5 messages, the fifth messages can be the first one to send, then the fourth will the next one to send, and it's not in order. The message can be interchanged on the process of the delivering the message. Next is guaranteed delivery. Guaranteed delivery is for TCP. It is because TCP it is more reliable delivery method than UDP. So the message will be guaranteed to be delivered to the receiver. The sender can guarantee that the message that the sender sent to the receiver will be received by the receiver. Next is flow control, because TCP is more um, it's more organized delivery method than the UDP. And next is order delivery. Like I said a while ago, TCP, UDP doesn't need in UDP the messages order can be interchanged through the process, while TCP, uh, if you send a message, the receiver will receive it by how you send the message to the receiver. Next is session establishment. Um, um, TCP and TCP delivery method. Two computer the two computer has must have a established connection or strong connection for the messages send to send accordingly to what the sender want. Example, if I have a great connection to the other host computer, if I send a message in order, the computer will able to receive those messages in order. So you need to your on TCP it needs to have a session establishment. Unlike UDP, it's a connectionless delivery method. So that's all for this activity. I hope you learned something. So goodbye and peace. Okay, on this video we are going to do an activity. It's called Part 1 TCP connection and termination process. On this one, we will going to use three-way handshake of TCP establishment session. And it's a drag and drop appropriate place in which illustrate the three-way handshake of TCP establishment session. This is a three-way handshake of TCP establishment session, which this is the host A and this is the host B. Host A sends synchronization to host B, and the host B will receive it, and also and oh no, and the host B will receive it, and host B will also send synchronization with an acknowledgement to host A. Acknowledgement means it will tell the receiver that that host for that host already received the message from the first message from the host A, and the host B here it will going to send a synchronization with acknowledgement to host A, and host A will receive the SYN and acknowledgement, and the host A also will going to send an acknowledgement, and it will be received by the host B. Let's check. It's correct. Now on the next, this is the first figure or first part of the activity, and this will be the second part. This is the termination, a four-step process of TCP termination session. So the host A sends fin to host B, so host B will receive fin, and the host B will going to send an acknowledgement to host A to let host A know that host B host B had received the message. So host A will receive acknowledgement, and then also the host B will send fin to the host A. So the host A will receive it, and the host A will also send an acknowledgement to host B to let host B know that host A had already received its message. Let's check if it's correct. It is correct. So I hope you understand something on this video. This is all about TCP connection and termination process, three-way handshake, and a four-step process for termination. The three-way handshake is for establishment session. So thank you for watching. I hope you like it and peace. Okay, in this activity, we are able to know where what delivery method does this applications will use. So it's drag and drop activity, and it's normal to this to NetAcad to do an activity like this. So we'll know if HTTP will use TCP or UDP or both methods. Now let's begin. HTTP will use TCP because it needs a reliable connection so that all the messages from HTTP be transport will guarantee the delivery that it will receive by the receiver. Also, telnet needs a strong connection, and FTP, file transfer protocol, it also needs a strong connection, and also SMTP, simple mail transport protocol, to send an email. It's for sending an email, it's for sending a file, it's for telnet is for I think it's for um, the terminals CLI. That HTTP is for like this, and UDP, the applications that uses UDP is voice over IP, DHCP or dynamic host configuration protocol, and no, DNS also use UDP, but it SNP also use UDP, but it also uses TCP, so it's on both, and but it transport on different ports. Also, the TNS also transport on different ports, but it can use also UDP and TCP. And next is TFTP or Trivial File Transfer Protocol. This is UDP and IPTV. These applications, I think it needs a fast transmission, but it needs a reliable connection. It need this application also needs a uh, it doesn't need a strong connection at all, but this this needs a strong connection, and this can do both. Okay, that's all for our activity. I hope you understand it and enjoyed watching. Thank you and peace. Oh, I forgot. We are not. I forgot to check my answer. It's all correct, and it's correct. Thank you for watching again, and peace.